Hello, right. Thank you very much. Sorry, I have
Oh,
to get data loaded. All right. So yesterday, a quick recap of what we did yesterday. Then I lay emphasis on how to install it. I said if you want to install that module using your Visual Studio environment, what you need to first of all run is pipe install what tk. That's what you need to first of all do. Then having done that, the next thing you import it. All right, variable which represents your master, and the last thing you get to do for your window is to load the window. So I take in time. All right, the next one is I will set my words my master. Let's say my master is define bracket. That was going to be, because I'm using ticking time, that would be ticking time dot your window, which is going to be define you need when you want to launch your GUI. These are the three things you need. Okay, so I now broke them down. I said for type on top there, this ticket or title is to get the title of the page. So when I run it, you see that the page is having a title. Then the next thing you have there is like this is then plus 400 plus 100 is what we set here. Configuring your Windows environment. All right, you are changing the color, the kind of style, the effect you want to give to it. That's what they called config. Another word is configure. So this background you are seeing here is pink. This is why I gave it the color here. Then my environment is not resizable. I did that effect on this line of code here. So I said top the resizable, this zero and the vertical side, which is the X and the what con here. Then we, for example, label is one of the widget that we have in ticking time, and label is this right up that you are seeing here, login area, and actually called widgets. Okay, then I said something again. All of this things you are seeing inside this widget is just option window of your application. So you can see text for your right up. This one is the font. This font you are seeing on top of this application is sans serif. So that's what those ones does. Peradventure, let's say I want to bold this now. I will now be collecting three parameters. So I'll have to, this sans serif will now still be inside the code. Let me do it this way. I just want to chippy something for you guys. So this one will also be inside the code. Then this one represent the font size, Abby. Then how do I want it? I want it to be thick. That's a bold. So I'll bold it. So if you run this application, you see that this login area now is now bold. Alright, I've passed three options inside here. I said something. I said, despite the fact you've called your widget, you must geometry it. That's an emphasis on what Pack does. I've not packed your application. Hope I've closed it. You can only pack your widget on the top or the bottom, or you can pack it at the left, except if you want to place the anchor point. I don't really like using pack because the guy is not really flexible like that. It does not allow. There's a way you can pass in an anchor point on your pack widget and it will be placed at the middle for you. So then I'll run the application. You will see that the login area will not appear again. You see the login area is not there again because I've removed the pack geometry that is responsible for making it appear on your window. It's very important to understand that. So when I use this first method, then I use another method, which is this method here. Now I say you can also use name alias. That was what I was using Ajoke as a case study. I said if I said import my library as, now this as you are seeing here is a keyword alias. It's called alias. Alias is what you use to represent something like also known as. So if this one is not there everywhere, I think it everywhere, I have to use Ajoke. So it's just like this example I gave. Remember, my variable is now master. I have to call ajoke.tk, which we also did of your name alias. So this one will still work fine. I hope this thing is not running before. I think it's running also. So where's zero? Oh, I've commented the. So you can see now that's what we used to get this one. Every other thing there is also what you have here. So but it's just that Joker is representing the place of what your tick in town. Is that okay? Then I gave a third example. Then this one is what I do use. I use this one a lot. It means that you are importing widgets. You have library inside. When we did a module class inside a module, many class can be inside a module. Everything that belongs to ticking time into your environment. And programmers said this is not, for security reasons, this is not what advisable. Why is not advisable? Because you are importing what you are not using. So you are making your application to be at risk. But what may I see there? Probably because of automation purpose. Automation purpose for automation, a desktop application like a enterprise system, stock management system, all of these things, then you can see that this one make it very easy. Where you I said equal to TK straight up, so you can see just call my label straight up because I've used that we have looked at. Please, any question? So this is what we have for this one. Please, any question?
Um, the second example you give, that Ajoke, can we put any name
Any name,
there
any name,
or
any name. That's why I gave that
like
example.
okay,
You can put your name. You can put
okay,
your own
okay,
variable, your own declaration.
okay.
So, but what I'm saying is that any.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's come back to today class. So what we are going to do is this. I'm using style to build a foundation for the application we want to build. All right, but I'm going to be taking. All right, then for I will use another one to explain today, which is the grid geometry. Today I will use it to create a registration page. Then I will now give you an assignment to go and create any dashboard of your choice. Let me see how creative you are going to look like. We're still going to do it together. Do you understand? But let's continue. So if I'm using this, I think I love the way this one appears right now. I have to disable it. So disabling this now, that becomes arrow dot resizable. Arrow dot is here. Remember I said false and zero is the same thing. Alright, so dot py reg.what.py. Now this reg.py, let me even see what this AI will do. Please, I just want to check something. Now this is not grid geometry to do it. Please, I want to reg page with grid. Let me see. Please, oh, I just want to see the intelligence of registration page with grid in ticking time. So Control I. Hello, I hope everybody.
I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Oh, man, this AI, eh? And it's correct though. I think. Oh, let me use this one as let me use one to explain something because this is a class method and it is very good. You see, if you launch it, it will work. They are correct. Added already. These guys are crazy, man.
Please start from scratch.
I'm telling you. I just let me just test it too, and again they brought a very first thing we need to do, like we said, from ticking time, import words asterisk. That's what I said. Jesus. From ticking time.
All
Yes.
right.
All right, thank you very much. I want to make my master to be something like X. Let's say ROT equals to, I'll just call TK ROT dot what dot main loop. Very simple syntax. So my geometry, which is going to be the size. If I launch it, that's why I said these three but I have to call my ROT dot what dot geometry, so that I will set the size. Let's say I want, since this is the registration page, I will make it to be let's say 400 by, please, that thing is a center, that will be plus 400 plus what 0. Am I correct? So let's see what we are going to have. All right, I think I love this. Let me push it a bit here, so that, let me call it 450. All right, so since this is registration, uh, the title is going to be registration what registration page. Then the next thing I'm going to pass here, please, that will be, I want to make it so that it will not be resizable. ROT.resizable. So I will be in a very good shape. I'm going to leave it like this, because the reason why I'm leaving it like this, my sign up page, which is this one, let me bring it down a bit.
Uh,
Let me bring it down a bit. So this one represents top, this other plus represents top. Let's say 500, because it's very small. Yeah, it's good like this. So let's come back here. Then the next thing I have to be doing now is to place my, I'm going to call, let's say, my first widget here. So let's say I gave it LBL1. It must not always be LBL1 though, it's your own bill. Remember, like I said, my master now is what is ROT. The text is what I want to place on top. The text I'm placing on top, let's say registration. Then the fonts that I want to use, that's an option that can also come inside. The fonts that I think is 20 that I gave it, the previous one. Then I also said what, bold. When you are building your application, always ensure your fonts are uniform. All right, so now let it take the default background color, and I want the foreground to be black. The hexadex are 3. Okay, so for it to appear, this is where the issue come now. That will be LBL1. Most of us are using a laptop, and you saw your keypad, the way your keypad are arranged. They are arranged horizontally, and they are also arranged vertically. They are arranged in rows and columns, right? So grid basically is arrangement of your widget in rows and what and columns. All right, now if you look at your calculator, we have the zero column, so the 0 row, right? The 0 row, the 1 row, the 2 row, and the what, the 3rd row. Are you getting? Just options, or 2 argument, or 2 value. It accepts row. So if I say let it be row 0, then I say column what, 0 0. Hope that's the spelling. No. So at this application that you're seeing, this edge is, row is horizontal, abi, column is what, vertical. So it is what, is 0. That's why it's kissing that edge. Oh,
yeah,
so how
I
do
can hear
I,
you are.
sir,
I said you are. You are.
how do I shift this registration grid inside? All right, even if I turn this on to column 3, let's see something. I turn it to column 3. I have to, if this is column 0, I should have column 1. No move. All right, it will not move. No, yesterday I said we have pad X and we have pad Y, and I said pad X is horizontal, pad Y is what, is vertical. So if I say pad X and I said something like let's to here now, it's giving a 50 space. I don't know if you are getting it. From here to now, it's giving a 50 space. It means, but the disadvantage of this is, if I now have other widgets inside, this guy will be pushing. Oh, let's see an example. Now I have a registration. Let's say other options that can also go with this guy is on the line. All right, in case go to the fifth 0, E here is 1, G here is what? G here is what? Is 2, I here is 3, S here is 4, T is what? T is what? 5. That's why you see it's putting on the line there. So that's what this one follows. Now the next thing I'm going to look at, I want to, for the registration page that we are building, we want to collect full name, want to collect useful name, email, so that field like address, phone number and stuff like that. So let's get that done. So my label, I can say label2 equals to is RT. So the text I'm using here, let's say the text I'm using here is I said full name, Abby. Please, I will have to be copying some code here because typing itself don't tire me. So font, I can't use the size of 20 again, but let's bold it. Then the FG, which is your foreground, let's say let it remain black. My font, right? I think it's finished. There's no point of aligning that, so it's finished. Everything I need there is finished. So for this, like we said, what do I call it now? We said this is row what? Row 0, column what? Column 0. I mean the other one now. So it means that for me to move this into the next level, it's going to be row 1. All right, column what? 0. You know, column is vertical, so I can go down. All right, so let's see what we have. Row 1, column what? 0. Row 1, column 0. Now the reason why you're not seeing my observation is because of this pad X here. So let me remove this guy. Row 1, column what? 0, column 0. It came back here, which they are correct. So for this one to be here, it means that it has to be row 0. Thank you. Row 0, column 1. It has to be row 0, column what? Column 1. Column 1, sorry, horizontal. Column 1. Column 1 brought it down. Okay, but let's continue. So like I said, it's going to be row 0, column what? Row 0, column. We will not be able to make our adjustments. Now the next thing I want to appear is my entry widget that I want to use to collect the full name. So let's remember, of course, we said it's S. Let's give it the width. Let's give 50. I think I'm okay with that. Width of 50. I also need to call my master there too, which is going to be the RT. If not, it will not appear. ENT1 dot 1 column 0. All right. If this one is row 1 column 0, and I want this thing to be in the same place, so this one is going to be this will be row 1 column what? Column 1. All right. Now 1 column what? 0. Then this is column 2. Column 2 is too far. Column 1 should. My application is perfect. Are you seeing it? This is a perfect alignment. Please, are you guys with me? Now, then the entry widget flat, so that it not look like all those old application, Visual Studio Code application. All right, since I've written this code, other code will not be difficult for me to write. So for me to get the next one now, I can duplicate this guy. How is space here so that it will be label 3. Label what? 3. Then this one will be that one is okay for me. The my ENT, now look at it. This one will not be ENT what? 2. Now let's see something. Please, let's see something. If this becomes, that will mean that this one will be row 2 C colon what? 0. Then this one will now be row 2 C colon what? Colon 1. If you see it to be perfect. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. What? Remember I said that the row you are going like this, you are going like this, Abby? That's all is going on there. So it just means that you have to be changing the row every widget you place with perfect alignment. Duplicate this. So this will be label 4, ABL 4, ABL what? Then this one will be ENT what? ENT 3. So it means that this will become row 3 colon what? 0. It all becomes row 2 colon what? 1. Perfect. Are we together? What can I collect again? Let's say you are collecting something like phone number. So your guess should be good as mine. Duplicate, come down. So this one becomes ABF 5. ABF what? 5. So this is contacts. I should be having ENT4. ENT what? 4. So this one will become row 4 colon what? 0. Row 4 colon what? 1. I will be in a very, very good shape. Something is not right here. Oh, this guy 5. Space in between, because this is a good this you know. But what if I want to have a space in between this my widgets? It's for what? For vertical. So it means that if I want to have a space on the vertical, that will become pad what? Pad Y. If I say pad Y, I said 20. 20 is too much, but let me see. Alright, it's not bad though. 20. The way the thing come out, it's okay. Let's say that means I have to be bringing 2020 on every. I don't know why I kick the entry widget down to. Okay, so this one becomes 20 also. One thing about designing an application, always run it. Oh boy, that 20 is too much. 10. Alright, 10 is not bad. So this one space, this one again. I think that's the label, Abby. This one. Now I think these feed are okay for me for now. These feed are okay for me for now. Now the next thing I'm going to do now, I want to bring in a button, and I want my button to be under here. Do you understand? I want my button to be under here so that it will be like a matured app. Use text. Remember yesterday I told you guys that text is also a problem. This one I will turn it towards probably remark. That's okay. Then this one becomes ENT5. ENT what? 5. So this one will be row 5. Row what again? Row 5. Now remember I said I want to bring in text, so this one now will be text. Some certain things, but let me see if I'm going to get. It's not bad though. Now you see what's going on here. Now this, I'm expecting the person to, what kind of remark do you have about our company?
It's too big.
It's too big. So that's because I gave you 50. So let's say something like 20. So when I gave it 20, see how this thing is placing itself on my environment. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to set now. 20 is even still much. I'm going to also call height. This one you can call height for it. Width of 10, height of what? 20. Not bad. Height of 20. So this is where we comma here. Width of 10, height of what? 20. Sure, good. See small. This is better. This is better. I want the button to be placed here, and I want the button to be under this thing. So if I just come here and said btn equals to that's button. So my master is what is rt. The text I'm giving it is submit. Submit, okay. Let's say submit. You can call it your own name if you like. Serif. I'm giving it sans serif. I'm giving it what do I give it that one? Let's say bold. Then my bg, let's say the bg now, I'm giving it the bg. Then the foreground, which is also fg, I'm going to give it white. The hexadecimal for white is f hashtag hashtag fff. Now grid, something will happen here, but you will understand me. I said I want to be here, Abby. I'm placing 1 row 6 color 1, which the dimension is okay. But you know, because this guy is occupied and is very close to this guy here, which is not good. So I can bring it down a bit by bringing pad y into that place. Let's say pad y, I gave it something like 10. Pad y, I gave it something like 10, so it will come down. All right. So you can also turn the relief of your button to be flat. All right. You can also call your relief. You can also make it what? Flat. You can see we have different. We have groove. We have raise. We have ridge. We have this thing on top, which is not differ from this thing. Let's make it flat, Jerry. So this is flat, but this button is big because of the fonts. Let me say 10. It is okay like this. Increase the width.
Or you try 15. 15 or 15.
15. We can also bring in a third guy here. Width. You can call width for this guy. Let's say width of 20. You know, width is always horizontal now. I think I'm okay like this, so I can bring this one back to 10. I think it's better like that, so that the button will. Please, are we good?
Yeah.
So I want to cut some part away from this, because since I don't have anything to place, so but we have, let's say we have gotten our login, we have gotten our registration. Let me do some things here, or so that let me just explain some things for you. Our window, they will divide it into 2. I don't know if you've seen those kind of application. Do you have your left side, your right side, or some of them you have your top? Then you have probably something like something like an inventory system, an inventory management system, whereby immediately you buy products, your product is going to a stock, and you're seeing the stock, stuff like that. All right. Now, if you try that ordinarily, a label, and this label is, let's call it lab is not bad, or let's say stock. So this stock is a label, and this label is to contain let's just have some man sources. Let's say sources. All right, let's say sources. Let me not do too much thing here. FG of green, the hexadecimal for green, ROGB, the hexadecimal, hashtag 00, green, hashtag 00F, that will give you green. Please, it's not that I crammed it, it's just because of I know their combination. 0 is none, because if you look at it, you work with primary color, it will be what? 0. If you want 0, if you want the highest, that's F. So I just know. Now if I come here and I said stock dot view, a big fat error. So what's the error? They say cannot use geometry manage grid and pack cannot be together ordinarily. Do you understand? They can't be together ordinarily. But how do you for them to be together? That will take us to frame. You put it inside a frame. So what I would do in a nutshell, I can say equals to, how do I call it frame now? It's going to be, remember the masters I'm using there is ROT, right? ROT dot what? Frame. You have a frame there. I don't even need ROT because I'm actually using from Tickintown import word. I don't need it here. So inside here now, I will now pass the what? The ROT, which is going to be the master of that. So what I will do now, I will display the frame. So that will be stock frame. That will be stock frame dot grid. Stock frame dot what? Grid 1. Row 7 colon what? 1. Row 7 colon 1. So I want it to go, okay, which already has a slave what? Pack. Now this guy now, you see I'm still having that error. Frame, this guy. So I'm placing it inside that frame. That error should get out. Are you seeing that sources? This sources you have here now is what? Is actually what? Pack. But I wrap the pack inside a what? A frame of what? Grid. I don't know if I'm communicating. It means that I have solved the problem of that issue of displaying grid grid cannot appear inside a pack, or pack cannot appear inside a grid. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, lastly, let's say I want to trigger a that you go further and make research on your own. All right, we talk about function. So if you are not in those class, I don't know. So you can see this is dev underscore init self root. So they use class to get their widgets. But me, I did not use class. Anytime you are inside a class, you must get a what? A self. So this is a method that is creating the widgets. They now created another. For me to trigger a message, I need to import another library, but that library is inside Tickintown. All right, from Tickintown, let me say that will be import. Sorry, boss. All right, as that's name alias again. Now you get as message. I use this a lot in application. So instead of me to be calling tickintown.messageBus, I can just say what? Message. So for me to trigger a message now, I will define a function def. Let's say here. Now the kind of message that I want to trigger, message, you can see message dot. So this guy have different methods. If there's a warning you want to pass, you have show warning. So me, I'm using show info. You have a bracket. So this guy has this one. You need to pass in two. Let's say prompt. I want a prompt to appear first. Then I want to display a message. User register what successful. There's no database on it, so I'm just successfully yet. I just want to make guy inside the button, because I want when the button click is what I want that message to be triggered. So I'll go inside this my button here. What I will do, I'll name here show words message. I can just say show words message. Hey, problemo. Good shape. So if I click on this button, I seen it. User registered words successfully. You see the prompt I passed there. That's any questions so far? Question, please.
That RT.
ROT is your master. This is where I started the ROT now. Line 66, I say ROT is equals to TK. Bracket open. That's the master place that appear.
Yeah.
This interface that appear is the ROT.
Okay.
Mr. Stalin, are you good?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Alright, sir. So I've done registration today. So create a dashboard. So what I'm going to do again is this. Possibly next class is just to automate this one that we have created. We'll now start creating that. But you just design a dashboard, or when you design your dashboard, we adopt the best design, it as professional as possible, so that we can adopt it for our application. Secondly, what kind of application do you think we should create? I have different domain. Let me hospitality domain. We have health domain, which is pharma. We have a business domain, which is it can be an inventory management. We have a travel transport page. We also created our login, because that's what you need in every application. Every application you need to register for you get access to what? To the environment. Let's have a nice day. Thank you for your time. Good night.